welcome to Life Through Her Eyes. I'm Jackie,
And I'm Debbie.
and welcome back. So, today we're going to talk about how we are healed, hot, and kind of over it.
Thanks.
We just want to say hello to all you women that are working so hard in your healing, and men too. Your healing as well is important. But this is really focused and geared towards the women who are healed and healing and who are just bored, who are over all the stuff that comes along with when you are working on yourself. And there's a lot of things that are outside of that. And I know, Deborah, you and I have definitely been on this road
Yes, for some years.
for some years. And
Yes,
it definitely consumes a lot of our conversations.
absolutely.
So much. And so I want to make it a point to definitely say and drive this really hard because I think people get a really bad stigma, right? When they're kind of like, "Oh, I'm healed." Like, you know what? We're not bitter,
Hmm.
just better. And guess what? We're kind of bored of it. Like not bored of being healed, but bored of the things that come along with when you are in your journey as a healing and healed woman.
Especially over the dating aspect of tolerating people who also are not on their healing journey. Because to your point, Jackie, we say we're healed, but healing is a
Mhm.
process. Like, you know how you hurt yourself and you go through
Yep.
injury and you get healed, but you're not completely without any issues. It's
Mhm.
just they're a lot more minimal and there may be other issues. So, like, life is about a healing process. So I think that's really what we're talking about. We're healed as far as we are taking the steps, we're doing the things that we're supposed to, and that's what we're kind of hoping that you will as well. Join us in that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. One thing I do think with that as well is when we realize to ourselves, because a lot of outside people are going to say their stuff, that,
Yeah.
you know what, I'm not high maintenance. Like some people might say that I am. Like, I don't think that I am. I am highly self aware, right?
Right.
Like, I know what I need, or I'm more in a knowing now than I used to be,
Right.
for sure, than in the past.
Right. And
Yeah.
I think your wants are different. They evolve. Like when you're in your more immature state, you're kind of like the whiny baby. You're not thinking of long
Mhm.
term consequences. It's like right here, right now. I just want this.
Yes.
Versus when you're mature and you're like, okay, my wants are different. I've now realized that I've had things in my life that I didn't want and I didn't want to tolerate in a relationship, but I did because I didn't know how to speak up or have a voice or express it without sounding like I'm nagging or bothering my partner.
Yeah.
But I believe for myself, it changes into like, no, now I know what I want. So those wants create boundaries instead of wants create me nagging and whining and complaining till I get what I want, you know?
Absolutely. That inner child. Mine
Right.
likes to throw tantrums sometimes, but
Yeah. Mine does too. I definitely have been there, done that. And sometimes it does need to, but it should be in like
Mhm.
controlled areas and times and,
Exactly.
spaces.
That's the key word, Deborah. Controlled. And
Right.
I think that's very important for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. I like that.
Yeah, me too. That's a good one. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely like a point in your healing, right? Where you're just kind of like, I'm not mad. I'm just
Right.
mildly not interested. In the sense of what we're talking about here, right? Like the dating side
Hmm.
of this.
Right.
Where to date anybody, it's almost like this disinterest almost. And
Because
I
it
feel
becomes a
like,
chore.
yeah, that part, but it's also just like in my healing state of mind where it's almost kind of like I don't really need to add to like my plate of things that I've been dealing with. And
Yeah.
I recognize more things now than I did in the
Hmm.
past. But I was less healed.
That's
Yeah.
so true. I've definitely seen that in both of our relationships, how when we are actually away from that past relationship and we have time in our healing and in our
Yeah.
feelings to think about it, that we've been able uh, to really grow and thrive. And then in that growth, we realize, like, oh my gosh, the things that we thought were acceptable in that last relationship, I realize now I will never tolerate again. So
Never
you
again.
kind of that is the growth in it. The growth is you realizing that these are new boundaries that I'm going to create in my life. And so now I know what I will tolerate, period.
Yeah. And it helps drive home that whole, I really liked when I heard it put this way, the not triggered but not entertained. So there's like two sides of that, where it's like, you know what, I can be in this feeling more healed and it doesn't trigger me to go in bad places, but not
Yeah.
really entertained by it either,
Yeah.
you know and recognizing that was
Right.
huge too, because then I can finally get to that place where it's like, then what am I doing? It's a total waste of time if I'm not feeling all those things and I'm not entertained. Then it feels just completely pointless, right?
Right. It does feel like dating sometimes can almost feel like a waste of time because you are giving, if you're really trying to get to know the person, you are
Mhm.
really giving a part of yourself and opening up and being vulnerable to them and hoping that they are being honest and vulnerable with you as well. And that you all maybe have the same things and that you're interested as well, like the same goals or outcomes.
Yeah.
And sometimes everyone, we're adults, we all are at different stages and have and want different things in life. Sometimes we just want a friend just to hook up with and not be serious, and sometimes we want someone who is going to be marriage material, and that's what we're looking for next because we want
Yep.
to settle down and have children potentially and have a partner for life. So, and then some people are just like polyamorous and they're just looking for another person to be a part of their throuple, and maybe they don't want them all the, I mean, there's so many different things. So
Yep.
I think it's really, personally, I think it's just really beautiful that we do have all these options and everything, but that also does, to your point, kind of add a lot of stress to like what do we want? And not everybody is always honest. Sometimes people out there
Hmm.
are polyamorous and they want to be with a lot of people, and they're on dating sites talking to people who are monogamous who are just looking for one person to connect with.
Yep.
And so, I mean, that presents a lot of challenges in the dating sphere. So I know a lot of us, like myself, I'm just like, I just, again, I'm not necessarily like screw dating, but I do have a lot of triggers. And whenever I
Yeah.
get those triggers, like if I'm out to eat with a guy for the first time and he's rude to our waitress, like I waited tables for 15 years of
Mhm.
my life and I bartended. And if I see you be disrespectful or calloused with a person that you don't even know, like I don't even want to be around you. I don't want to be around people who treat people below them because they
Yep.
do a service job, which again, I mean, I'm a massage therapist as well. So another service job, like I serve
Yeah.
people, I take pleasure in serving people.
Hmm.
And I just, so I don't want to be triggered and just for the sake of being entertained and get a free meal and have this guy tell me his life story and have
Hmm.
like a night out with him, so I think about that on dates, like, because when you're putting yourself out there, you are putting yourself out there to potentially be triggered
Hmm.
and or
Absolutely.
entertained,
Hmm.
so you
Yep.
just really never know. So that again's kind of the gamble with dating and putting yourself in that situation.
Oh, 100%. And that comes too with the healing, right? Like you said, like I feel like you need to be in a certain healed state to really know what you want. And
Right.
and to understand that in different phases of your life that does change. And
Right.
it evolves. It evolves just like
Mm.
we evolve as we heal. And to be able
Absolutely.
to uh be good with accepting that is huge. I think that's
Right.
part of healing. Yeah. Yep.
Right. I mean, that's part of like the heel girl era that we're seeing, and
Yes.
a lot of people really don't talk about what happens during the heel girl era. Like I watched this one video clip. I think it was probably a TikTok where a guy was like doing stand up and he's like, yeah, man, like women, they used to like take a long time to get over us. Like I could break up with her and she might be heartbroken for like days, weeks, or months. And then like whenever I'm done getting it out, I can go back to her and she'll take me back. And he's like, now she's like the very next day in Dubai living her best life. And I'm like, what? I thought I had time to try to like come back and fix it. But women, when we realize it and we let go,
Mm,
we really do oftentimes let go. Not that we don't still get entangled with exes that try to keep drawing us back. I know both of us have definitely been in that. I don't think
yeah.
either of us
Yeah.
has had an ex that didn't want to come back to us, because regardless of what our flaws are, when they're back out in that pool, they're like, oof, Jackie or Debbie was way better than the options that I've been having out here. So they're like, okay, I want back. And we're like, no, sorry, but I don't
Not
know.
always say no, but yes.
But sometimes no, both of us have been guilty of saying yes as well too. But, in that heel girl era,
Mhm.
you know, I know for me, when I think of a heal girl era, I think of like what we're doing as well to get that healing, like doing the
Right.
therapy and having the conversations and being honest and open with our friends and family. And
Mm,
because that is really kind of how you understand what is normal in life, because you're
mhm.
just going through and having experiences that are just a few experiences, and you don't know the grand scheme of things. You don't know if this is normal, if everyone does these things on dates or behaves these ways. So you're just like, I need to talk to someone. I need to know if this is normal, if a person is,
Yeah.
trying to tell me that I can only spend time with them and I can't hang out with my friends anymore. Is this normal that,
Right.
when we go out to eat, they sit next to me and they won't sit across from me because they want to know everyone who's looking at me and if I'm looking back
Mm,
at them or doing weird stuff. Like, you just never know. So you need someone to talk to. So part of that therapy is talking to friends, talking to professional if you can, you
yeah.
know, um, doing things. I listen to podcasts. That's part of my therapy. I read books that are
Mhm.
like that are self-help books, so to speak, So
Love self.
I love it too. I mean, I never thought as a kid that would be something I would like geek out in as an
Mhm.
adult, but definitely something that I thoroughly enjoy is just learning how to take the control back. And I think that is what
Yeah.
being part of that heel girl era is taking the control back and not just going, I'm willing to accept being in your presence just because, there's some things that you offer me that make me feel good, or I might feel safe or whatever, but again, like keeping track of those red flags and making sure what is worth it, what
Absolutely. Because they're
yeah.
not all worth it. They're not all worth it. I will
um
say, I will say, I'm gonna go ahead and give this though too. There are some red flags that sometimes that's rooted in like some past trauma that still just needs some healing.
Facts.
But
Facts.
that's where you need to be in that state where it's like, is this something I can do? Kind of I've heard it said like the overanalyzing the beige ones, right?
Yeah.
Um I try my best in my healed girl era, right, to
Yeah.
not overanalyze because the unhealed version of me overanalyzes everything. Like
Right.
everything to the point where I'm like, I've got this whole bracket of scenarios that lead somewhere so crazy, and now I've gotten, I don't want to say crazy, that's a bad word, that leads somewhere so
Off.
far in the
Yeah.
future
Yeah.
of results that like probably not even going to happen because what
Right.
happened at the beginning was an option that wasn't really an option. So in my state I try not to overanalyze a lot of them because that's definitely more my unhealed version for sure.
Yeah, that definitely. And even understanding what's a green flag, what's a red flag, and like to your point, what's a
Yeah.
beige flag? Like, what is a
Yeah.
flag? Am I just overreacting because of my past wounds and I need to heal?
That
And
part.
that's not even that person, it's a me
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yep.
Is it just a
Yep.
preference? I don't like a person who chews with their mouth open. Is that like
Mhm.
really a red flag, or is that you being like unnecessarily picky, and maybe with time and a kind way of expressing it, then you can
Mm.
like say something to this person if you like
Right.
them enough, but not make up red flags in order to just push people away because you're afraid of trying again. Because I don't think that's what either of us are saying, that we're
Right.
ever afraid to get back out there. I'm not like, again, I'm not broken. My feelings
Mhm.
are hurt that I have gone through all these scenarios and I have let myself down. It's not necessarily the guys. I allowed, whenever I did have those unctions within me, to be like, you deserve better, or this isn't nice, this doesn't feel good,
Mhm.
this isn't the way
Right.
that life should be. And when you bring it up and they won't change, like,
You're like,
like, you have to then make the decision and be the change yourself and step
right.
away from that situation if that person is unwilling to change and you really are that hurt or unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, relationships, they're hard work. I did almost 20 years with my longest relationship. That was my ex-husband, and that was almost 14 years married. We were like a month shy, no, not even a whole month shy of our 14th anniversary when we passed away, when our marriage passed away. AKA we got divorced.
R.I.P.
RIP to that 20-year relationship. For real. But there's so much I learned from that relationship, and I'm so grateful. And I can, if I do have another relationship, I can take that in the lessons learned into that relationship, and
Absolutely.
again learn from the things that I didn't like and express that, and the things that I loved, usher that right into that relationship again. I mean, there were wonderful things about my ex-husband that I will always appreciate, in ways that he had treated me at times and done things for me, and he was definitely a romantic. And there's a lot that I gained from that. So kind of like Ariana Grande with the like thank you next song, that's
Yeah.
definitely how
Yeah.
I feel like your exes shouldn't be something that you sit there and think about in a begrudging way. You should be like, you know what, I allowed them to do whatever it was, not that
Right.
you made them do it. Like, after it happened once and we didn't do the things that we needed to do to leave, which is, that's
Yep.
the easiest time after the first time. Not the more you do it, the harder it is to go away. So it's really after that first time of someone disrespecting your boundaries, you really have to decide right then, is this a good investment in my time? Is
Mhm.
this a good investment of a relationship for me? And you don't have to. The problem I think we do is we don't think about ourselves and if it's okay with us, because in that moment we're thinking about hurting them. I don't want to hurt them, because what if I just leave and then I just break their heart and they can't live without me? And oftentimes, especially like we talked about in that previous episode about people who are abused, or when they're being abused, oftentimes they're more mad at themselves than they are their abusers. They don't want to forgive themselves, but they've already forgiven the abuser. And I think even in relationships where it's not necessarily physical abuse, but it's just not a good situation, like, it's hard to leave it when you get red flags that are real red flags. It's one thing if you like address it and they change, but if it's something that you see as like a character trait, then you need
Right.
to make a decision early on to be like, I need to find a way to put as much distance between me and this person
Mhm.
as possible, because it can eventually hurt myself. And not even just think about you, it could potentially hurt your family members or your friends or your other loved ones, and you never want it to go there. So please, 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 men and women, please pay attention to your red flags, because there's some crazy women out there that will blow your car up or hurt you as well. And it's not
Mhm.
just a male hurting female scenario out here in America, at least. I don't know in the rest of
Mhm.
the world. I don't know how you guys are, but in America, women can definitely be crazy too and be violent. And
Yep. And then for the
everyone
scenarios
should
where
look out for
it's
those.
women with women and men with
Oh,
men. I
yes,
mean,
absolutely.
there's so many. It's so
So
key.
true.
Like when you know yourself, knowing yourself, know what you can and can't withstand,
Right,
and what you're willing to do, for said love.
right,
It's because the only person that's gonna know is you.
right.
And your answer today might look different than your answer tomorrow. And I think that is one of the things that I think it's the beauty of being unavailable, right?
Yeah,
Like you have that moment of like clarity of where you are now choosing solidarity over subpar company.
right.
Just the absolute like, no, I'm not doing it, or this is not what I consider subpar company. So,
Yeah,
it matters what you know within yourself, what you want and what you need. Yeah.
absolutely. And again, I just want to reiterate, it's okay to think of yourself first. I think there's a lot of people who think that that trait is
Selfish.
solely
Mhm.
narcissistic. There are
Mhm.
narcissists have that trait, but theirs is taken to an extreme where they only care and think about themselves above and beyond everyone else.
Mhm.
Everyone else who's like, say, me and you, Jackie, are empaths,
Yeah.
and we have so much empathy for people. We tend to put everyone else and everyone else's problems in front of ours and not take a minute to just like breathe and allow ourselves some reprieve, you know? And
Right.
so I think that, even say I have a situation with my personal life. I have a guy that I have had as a friends with benefit situation for years. And I have been at this point that I'm like, do I want to continue down this path with him and allow him these privileges, or do I need to like pull back? Because even from a friendship standpoint, he never texts me to see how I'm doing. He never calls me to check on me.
Mhm.
We don't go
Yep.
out and do anything. Like in the beginning, we used to at least like go to dinner or on occasion, or go see a
Yep.
comedy show or whatever. But like as time went on, it just went back to the, oh, let's go to your house, let's do this. And then
Mhm.
like I
Mhm.
only call for just one specific thing. And I'm fine with that. But at the same time, I would like to have some level of respect. And any of my other friends, they don't have to reach out to me any every day, but if you're my
Yeah.
friend, I expect you, just like I do to my friends, to randomly send a text message to be like, hey, how's your day going, hoping, just thinking about you, hoping you're doing good.
Yeah.
But I don't even get that on the text messages whenever they reach out to see if we can just hang out for the day. It's not like, hey, how are you
Yeah.
doing, hope you're well. It's like a, hey, you got some time to hang,
Mhm.
like, or
Mhm.
sup, or what you
And we
doing,
and we know
WYD,
we know what that WYD be meaning.
Right.
Like.
You want my D? That's what they're saying. And if it's a dude, like, and
Right. If
if
it's a
it's a girl,
dude.
you want my P? But but yeah,
Yeah.
in that situation, I'm sitting here thinking, I enjoy the times that we hang out, but
Right.
after expressing to this individual, I need more from a friendship. I need for you to feel
Mhm.
like, I need to feel like I'm cared about as a person, not just like an object or a tool to be
Yes.
used for
Mhm.
your pleasure. And again, we came into this contract for both of us to have pleasure. And if I'm expressing to you, hey, um in order for me to have pleasure just in general as a human, I would like for you to occasionally text me and check on me and just say hello, or hey, can we
Mhm.
go out and do things? And even asked him straight up, are you embarrassed of me? Do I behave a certain way? Like, is it the
Right.
way I
Right.
dress? The way, like, is there anything at all that I'm
Yeah.
doing wrong that I could change? And he would not give me an answer. It was not like, he just was silent on the
Yeah.
other side of the phone, or the other end of the phone. And I'm just like, I need at least
Mhm.
emotional intelligence if I'm going to
Absolutely.
deal with you. Like, I've shared my body. I would think
Yep.
you would give me at least what you would do for a woman that you haven't shared her body with her yet.
Mhm.
Like, if you would spend money on a date to eventually get into a girl's panties, if you know you're about to get in my panties, why are you not putting any effort?
Yep.
Because the door's already been opened before. So now you think your level of effort needs to be decreased time and time again. That doesn't
Yep.
make any sense, because then now I'm just an object. I'm no
Yep.
longer a person of
Yep.
interest. So now I don't feel desired or loved. And that makes me feel resentful towards you
Yep.
for even sharing my body with you if you can't give me the same level of respect that you did on day one
Exactly.
when you didn't get what you wanted out
Yep.
of me.
Yep.
Because I still give you the same level of care and respect. I didn't start treating him any different. It's not
Nope.
like I was like, oh, okay, now I never I mean, and I, granted, in the past I did definitely reach out more randomly just to see how he's doing, but after I realized it wasn't being reciprocated, and there were
Right.
sometimes it would take days, weeks, and even up to a month or more for him to text
Yeah.
me back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to
unacceptable.
marry you. I don't want to be your
Absolutely.
girlfriend. I just
But
want
a
you to have enough
month,
respect to just
no,
in your time, your free time, which I know you can't be more busy than me because I'm a single mother of three teenagers and you have no children. You're a bachelor. I have the same amount of jobs as you. We work the same amount of hours. Like you can't sit here and be like, I didn't have enough time to look at my phone and take 45 seconds or less to read and respond. And
exactly.
45 is like a
And
huge number. It's really
you're not
like 20
even
seconds.
you're not even asking for a cold call. You're just
Right.
asking for a response.
Right.
Like that's what I want to like
Acknowledgement
drive
that
home
you
here.
saw that I
You're not
texted.
over here just expecting him to like I need the random pop-up like which is nice. That is what you would like, but that's not even what you're asking for in this moment. You're
Right.
just asking for a response, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
So with that, the beauty of being unavailable is just being like, you know what? I I already know what the outcome of that situation is, and I can just
Mhm.
choose to utilize that time for something different. Like, I can have a dance class and get my energy out that way, and take a dance class once a week and meet a whole different new group of people. Who knows? I might meet an amazing guy there, and we have this thing in common, and we do click naturally. And he does want to spend more than just a couple hours doing a couple things with me, like
Yep.
every once in a
Yep.
while. And like even when this guy friend of mine um messaged me the other day, he's just like, "Hey, do you want to hang out and, whatever?" And I'm like, "Sure, when?" It's been over a day and he never responded. Like, why would you start like, I don't understand it. Like, you are saying, "Hey, let's hang out." And I'm like, "Cool, when?" And but you don't you're so busy, you don't have enough
Yep.
time to respond when,
Yep.
because that's how busy you are in your life, which to
Yep.
me is unbelievable because it's not. You're not.
Yep.
So if
Yep.
I get unbelievable from people, I would rather just stay unavailable to those
Yeah.
people. And so just be like, I'm good.
Absolutely. I mean
I'm
that's
good.
right up there like what we're talking about the subpar company.
Yeah,
Because you've established within your boundaries that you're like, I need more than that, and I expect more than that. One of the statements that has always resonated for me is just because I don't ask for much does not mean I deserve the bare minimum.
that
And
part.
that's,
Amen.
I mean, right, all day, all day. Because
Girl.
that's where I'm at right now. Like, I, I'm not in the place where I'm asking for a full fledged relationship from a romantic partner,
Right.
and I'm just asking for like treat me like a human. But I don't deserve the bare minimum because I don't give the bare minimum.
And also, just think about it. The guys that we're talking about, say they have a dude friend, right?
Hmm.
Don't know
Hmm.
who let's call the dude friend Bob. So
Yeah.
Bob, all I want to know is, do you give Bob the same bare minimal basic bitch attention as you get like to his text messages or his calls or whatever that you do me? And if so,
Hmm.
what is so repulsive about me that you love to use my body and enjoy my time when it's convenient to you, but maybe you don't like women. Like maybe that could be possibly what it is. Because if you would rather always be around Bob and hang out with Bob, and you can respond in a timely manner to Bob's text messages, and if Bob goes, "Hey, you want to go get drinks tonight?" You're like, "Hell yeah, Bob, let's go hang out at the our spot or whatever." Is it that I can't even say that I'm not as good a company, because when
Yeah.
me and said person hang out, we honestly do have a really good time, and I have them laughing almost the whole time,
Right.
and we're engaged in conversation, and so it's not boring. And
Yeah.
when we went out in the past too, it wasn't boring either. So I don't know. It's just,
And it's not like you're asking for marriage. You're
and I
not
don't even
over
want a
here like
relationship. I don't even want to be your girlfriend.
I
Like,
don't
I
even
just
want
want
that. Like
to
I
be
just want.
treated like a friend. And my friends, I go out and do things with. I don't,
Yep.
there are none of my friends that I only go to their house and sit and
Yep.
kick it at their
Yep.
house and
Hmm.
Netflix and chill, essentially. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like,
Hmm.
and
Well.
they're not poor, so it's not like they make less money than me. They have about the same money and have no children. So
Yep.
again, you're a bachelor, you have the time, you have the money, you have the ability. And even when I directly ask, "Hey, what is it? What can I do differently? Can you just be honest?" It's just crickets. And it's
Yep.
crazy. And
Yep.
I guess what I'm saying, men, if you are out there listening at all, we're not trying to nag. We're not trying to take up all of your time. We just want to be treated like a human. We just
Yep.
want to be
Yep.
treated the same way you treat your boys.
Yep.
Just talk to us and treat us the same way. If they text you or reach out to you and you get back to them in a timely manner, do the same to
Mm-hmm.
us
Yep.
or anyone else. Like,
Right.
just because you've had sex with us doesn't mean all of us are just clingy
Yep.
and we need you to call us every day and give us the good morning bay text. Honestly, keep that. I don't even want your good morning bay. Have a good day. I honestly don't. I just
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
every few days, 2 times a week, maybe to be like, hey, just thinking about you, hoping you're having a great day, or how's your day going, or hey, I'm off to work. And just say something just to acknowledge that you remember I'm a human. That's a friend of yours that exists. That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
sexy. It's just acknowledgement that I'm considered even when I'm not satisfying your needs.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I was actually told in a situation because I got irritated that somebody was on their phone while we were out having dinner. You
Right.
know, we're hanging out for X
Was this
amount of
just a friend
hours.
or was this like a friend with benefits?
It's a friend with benefits,
Okay.
you know, someone I've known for a very, very, very long
Okay.
time. And so there should be a matter of respect, right? Like
Right.
there should be. But for me to get upset that they were like on their phone while we're having dinner, because I don't even like when I'm sitting down with friends or family that it's kind of like it's rude like being on your friend or being on your phone while we're like trying to engage in dinner, like it's an intimate, like that matters to me,
Yeah.
right? And I was irritated about it. I didn't say nothing in the moment. They did their
Right.
thing, which mind you, it was not an important text. It was like, oh, my homeboy, you know,
Excuse me.
type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And later on I did mention, I'm like, you know what, I don't even know if I want to go and do something when they asked me later, right? I'm like, yeah, I don't know, because the last time that happened it put a bad taste in my mouth because you didn't even care because you were on your phone, you know, and I feel like that was very disrespectful. And they're like, whoa, so like I misunderstood what is going on here, I guess, because what you're asking for is relationship or talking to treatment.
Wow.
So
Wow.
me wanting to,
That's
like you
crazy.
asking me to dinner, which mind you, I felt like I had to beg for anyways, because
Right.
again, I don't
Because you had to bring it
ask
up
for
like I
much.
did.
I had to bring it up.
Right.
And I'm just like, what the hell? It's not okay. It's not okay. Like I have these boundaries and I'm gonna tell you what they are. I'm not gonna make you guess. You know, I'm gonna put it out there what I need. And then for someone to tell me like that what I'm asking for is talking to treatment. What the hell are we doing? Like just because I don't want a relationship with you, like a committed romantic relationship. This is a relationship,
Yeah.
obviously.
And it
You
is a
know.
long term relationship because it has been for over a decade. So that's a
Yeah.
long term relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I
But
understand. And I wish, guys, if you guys are listening at all and you want to comment, please feel free to comment. I want to hear your side of the story. I
yeah.
really, because again, I reached out to my guy friend. And he literally said nothing. He had no words at all for me, which lets
Yeah.
me know he's just not emotionally intelligent. So,
Right.
any of you emotionally intelligent men out there, please tell us, write in and just let us know what what it is that makes you think that if you are with a person that is sharing their body and intimate time with you, that makes you feel like you should spend less time and energy on them than your homeboys. Like, make
Mm-hmm.
it make sense. Your homeboys aren't sucking your dick. Your homeboys aren't pleasing you. I mean, maybe they are. Maybe they are. And that's why you want to hang out with them. And it's all a secret and you're closeted. I don't know. But it makes no sense to me for a heterosexual man to have a beautiful woman who does very kind things to him, gives her his her gives him her undivided attention when they're together. And even if
Yep.
they do get on the phone, excuses themselves because they want to do that to anyone. They would for their
Show
mother, their
respect.
friend, for anyone. Why is it that you somehow, once we give you our most intimate parts of ourselves,
Mm.
you somehow downgrade us a level and
Yeah,
decide that we now
really less
don't deserve to
valuable.
be treated as equal to just a dude friend. Because
Yep.
let me tell you, if you were hanging out with a dude friend and he called you and wanted to go out, there's a good chance you might buy even his beer
Hmm.
just as
Yeah.
a friend.
Yeah.
So why
Absolutely.
would you do that
Absolutely.
just having a conversation with that dude, but you would not also be willing to do the same for a woman who is also sexually pleasing you and
Mm.
being kind to you and doing these other things? It blows my mind. Help me
Blows my
understand,
mind. Blows my
because
mind.
I have a lot of guy friends and I am good company for men or women,
Yeah.
regardless. So it's not like they're bored around me. I have no good conversation. We're not enjoying
Mhm.
ourselves. I just don't understand why after sex you feel like you need to now respect me less or show me less
Right.
respect. I
Right.
just don't understand. So please, if you have an explanation, feel free to share it. And it's a judge free zone. We just
Yeah.
really are honestly curious to get some sort of explanation, because maybe you can make it make sense for us, and we would
Yep.
greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. And also to, any other men or women that also want to put their little, healed girl era, time in here
Yes.
too, and
Yeah.
your journey.
Yes.
Like what are some of the steps you took? Where are you at in your healing phase? Like I'm still
Yes,
healing
me too.
always. Like
Me too.
just like you are as well, Deborah. And that's all we can do is remember that healing doesn't just look like you just pour out the glass and then you fill it up with brand new. It's that murky water is still in there, but clean water is flowing in, and it'll eventually, clear all that stuff up. But it just
Yeah.
involves a lot of outside stuff as well. And we look at things differently with more
Right.
healed lenses. And so, yeah, we want to hear about it. And
Yeah.
we know there's a lot that comes with it. So,
Thank you guys. I hope you
thank
all do a
you.
great job on your healing journey as well. Thank you so
Yes,
much for taking time and listening to us today. Like and subscribe, and we hope to see you next week. Bye.
absolutely. Bye.